Hey everyone, this is Jennifer, and today I'm going to be setting up my next year's work planner, which is the Laurel Denise Portrait Planner. So I am currently using a Laurel Denise Portrait Planner for this school year 2024-2025. It's right here, so I have some information I want to transfer over. But I also have kind of my work calendar for the year. If you don't know, I am a special ed director for a district that has 3 buildings, pre-K through age 21. And I have a lot of meetings in 3 different buildings and a lot to keep track of. And this planner has been perfect for me. And so I want to go ahead and get that set up as we head into the end of the current school year. I like to have this ready to roll so I can start kind of pre-planning for what I need to do when we start back in August. I do have a full review up on this planner, so I'll put a link for that below, but it is the portrait planner and the cover choice is Iconic. That's the name of this particular print. I think it's really gorgeous, deep, rich colors and some fun little prints in here, including a flower and a moon and a bird. So I just really like this particular print. So if you need a full review, watch that video, but we're gonna go ahead and start with some color coding here. And I want to pick colors that really stand out this year. So I thought about using the Planner Kate rainbow colorway stickers, but as I'm looking at our school calendar, we already have it kind of color coded, so I thought it might be helpful to actually match the colors in here, but I need to make sure that I have enough of those colors first. So this is my favorites binder. I do have quite a few transparent stickers up front here, so let me grab those. I might need to get some of my other sheets out. This is a newer sheet, so they have larger circles. I also have these squares, smaller open circles. These are more squares. I have the Plum Modern circles. They're a little bit smaller. More of those. Let's see here. I love the Planner Kate Earth colorway, but once I get these down, I do have a rare eye disease, and sometimes coloring is really difficult for me, like just the different shades, and if they're really close, it's difficult for me to kind of see the difference between them. So I might not use that for this. And then I have these squares here, which are the same size as these. So it looks like, with just going based on how many stickers I have, that these might be the best option for me. And then we could do, let's see, I could do the yellow for this no school. I think it's close enough here. For Teacher Institute, I would need blue. Purple would be emergency days. I guess I need a true yellow. I might do, I think I'm going to do orange yellow, because I have these too. So I have the orange and the yellow and the purple. I'll do this pink for parent-teacher conferences, and then we'll do blue. Since I have so many of the navy, I'll do the Teacher Institutes in blue. And since this is the calendar that's kind of posted and we look at all the time, I think it'll help that it matches in my planner, if that makes sense. So going with orange first, let me grab this sheet here, and those are going to be no school days, so I'm going to need quite a few of those. All right, so let me go ahead and just start putting these down. I am not going to put a dot for no school in July, because that would waste a lot of dots. I just know we don't have any school in July. So I'm going to start with August, and I won't obviously like keep all of this footage in the video, but what I'm going to do is get all of these no school day dots down with my tweezers, and then we can kind of chat after that. I am going to mark the no school days in August. These tweezers are from the Planner Spot. I highly recommend them if you're looking for a good set of tweezers. But let me get these down and then we'll kind of see where we're at. I have finished up those no school days. What I did in my this year planner was I also marked these holidays that we have off because she has them printed over here, and I'm going to mark those in orange too. That way, as I'm looking at the holiday section, I can see which holidays we actually don't have to work, if that makes sense. There are some specifically that we end up working, and then like my husband's, he works for the city here, so his work schedule is a little bit different, but I'm going to go through here and mark off the holidays that we have. So we will have off New Year's Day. I'm trying to decide if I want to put them over the number and line it up on the edge of this line in the planner. I think that's what I'll do. So I'll do that, and then I'll be back to chat again. Now, I didn't want to include the days here that fall in a different school year, like all of these 2025 dates, just because then I'd have to use more of my transparent stickers up. So I think I'm going to use these dashed lines to mark basically the beginning and end of the school year, since this has all of 2025 and all of 2026 holidays. So we're going to start or make a line right here between July and August. And then I'm going to do the same thing over here for the 2026 holidays. We will be out of school before Memorial Day. We always are, even if we use emergency days or snow days. That's just how our calendar always runs. And so I can count on that for sure. So we're going to put a line there. So basically, this section of holidays is what I'm looking at for my 25-26 school year, if that makes sense. All right, next up, I need to do the blue, which I decided I would do navy since I have lots of that on one sheet here that I did as a custom several years ago. So I'm going to go through and do Teacher Institute days in blue to match this, and then again, we will chat. All right, first day of school is on August 12th. And I'm going to use a black sticker for that. I know for sure that won't be changing. Sometimes some of these dates change depending on emergency days and school days, but this one won't. So I'm going to mark that. This is with students' attendance because teachers will report on the 11th. All right, moving on to our noon dismissals. We're going to use a green color. And it looks like on my sheets, I have plenty of this just regular green. So that's what we're going to do. And again, we'll mark all of the 12 o'clock dismissals with green. Next up, we'll do the pink for parent-teacher conference days. There's just a couple of those. So it looks like February 12th. And October 9th. And then, like I said, some of this is open to change depending on emergency days. So we have 5 of those built in with purple here. So I need to mark those this week here. Okay, I think I'm all set on these pages with the school calendar. As I take paid time off for like sick days or for my son being ill and I have to stay home with him, I'll mark those in here as well and just make little notes here and kind of ignore the goals or things to remember. But that's been a good way for me to keep track of my hours that I have available to use. Let's go into the spread here. I did some sticker testing for Planner Kate, which I did in my unboxing video, but everything still works really well. So if you use Laurel Denise stickers from Planner Kate, they're going to work in this new planner for 25-26 just fine. I typically don't use too many stickers in here since it is just my work planner. So I went ahead and removed that. Here's a look at the other Planner Kate stickers that work just fine. So when I get to work, again, I can't share a lot of stuff for this planner since it has like a ton of confidential information in it. But I will tell you what I do is I go to this weekly spread, the dot grid section here at the first of the month, and this down here. And I write down annual reviews, our triennial evaluations that are due, and referrals and open files all down here. So I can always sort of see what we have on the docket and meet those due dates. And then I do all my planning here as far as meetings go. And what I like about this planner for work in the school setting is that it has Saturday and Sunday, even though we don't usually have school stuff. But what I do is I put a Post-it here, and then if I contact a parent, I'll put, let's just say I'm looking to schedule an annual review on July 15th. This is just hypothetical, of course. I would put the student name, the date, and then the time, and put it over here. And then once the parent confirms that that time works for them, I'll put a check mark, and then I put it on my calendar for sure. So I don't write things down until they're confirmed with the parent, if that makes sense. So this Saturday, Sunday is a nice placeholder for those meetings. That can get kind of busy. Like right now, April, I probably have, I don't know, maybe 15 meetings going on Monday through Friday. So that's a lot. So what I do is if I'm scheduling another one and the parent says, hey, I'm available on Monday the 21st, I'll look here and then I'll look here. And if I don't have anything written down in either of these two places, then I know that that's an open day for me. So that's my system and kind of how I keep things going as far as scheduling and moving things around a lot. So nothing to do really there. Like I said, once I get to my desk at work, I'll sit down and fill these out for the entirety of the year. So August through May, because those dates are already set for students when their IEPs are due and all of that. So let's go back to this notes section. One of the very minor changes is that this section is now lined. It was just an open white space over here on the left. So I've been putting my passwords here and it's been working out well. Again, not going to do that part on camera. However, I can put a label down just so I remember it is for passwords. So I'll use one of these stickers. Now, one of the other decisions is blue or black ink. I will switch ink pens as I go through the year, but if I don't like to switch ink colors. I actually did that for this current year planner. I started with blue ink and then switched to black, and I'd rather just have things be consistent. So I'm going to use black ink, and I'm just going to label one of these stickers passwords. And I'm going to go ahead and cover up this plan ahead section. And then all of my passwords obviously will go in that lined section. I think what I'm also going to do this year, just because I like to see how many things that I have to do, I have a spreadsheet that I make for my caseload workers, my special ed teachers, that has every due date for the entire school year. But it's kind of like a countdown for me. So like right now, as we're in April, I have 10 evaluations left to do before we get out of school in May. And so I'm going to write all of them down here, probably annual reviews and reevaluations, and just check those off as they're done. That way it kind of helps keep the big picture in mind for me as far as scheduling goes. And I do shimmy things around, so it just happens to be how things fall. For special ed in Illinois anyway, you meet yearly, and then every 3 years you do testing or evaluations. And sometimes a month will be really heavy, like when I go back and look at this when I fill it out. Let's just pretend November. If I see like November has a ton of evaluations and like 20 annual reviews, which does happen, I will shimmy them around and try to get some done early or push them off if I can. So really it's getting things done early because I can't miss my due dates. But seeing them here will also help me keep that in mind where I need to move things around, if that makes sense. So for today, this is it for my setup. Actually, I want to do one more thing. I'm going to list all my parent contacts here. I can look them up, but I have found sometimes I am sitting there without my laptop or access to our teacher info program. So I like to just have every caseload. I like to have every student's, parents, guardians info in here. So I guess that would be the last page there that I'm going to set up in advance on camera. I hope I explained how I'm using this functionally and kind of where I put things and how I reference things, how I do my scheduling. If you have questions about any of that, let me know. All stickers from Planner Kate, and if you have questions about that, let me know. Thank you guys for hanging out, and I'll see you back on my next video.